Hi everybody, this is Tina with Rehatch Designs, and on here today we're going to make a little project. It's something I did on my channel before, but I'm going to make it kind of in a Christmas theme. First I want to say hi, hope everybody's doing well, and thank everyone for their kind comments on my 1,300 subscribers, and I want to tell everybody again how much I appreciate you guys watching and tuning in, and your comments. I love them, and I am very, very overwhelmed by them. It's really very, very amazing, all of the comments I get, and I mean, you guys just, I don't know, it's amazing. Anyway, I just want to say thank you to all my subscribers and the people that have been with me this whole time, and then also the new people that have just started watching my channel. And as far as winning on my channel, as far as my giveaways, I give away right now, I think my last giveaway was when I hit 1,300 subscribers. My next one will be 1,400. And, you know, I usually give out 3 prizes for my subscribers. I'm going to do 3 again next time. Basically, all you have to do is watch a video and comment and be a subscriber. That's it. It can be an old video, a new video, it doesn't matter. Just, you know, 1 comment per video, and that puts you pretty much in. I do pay all the shipping costs and everything. I don't pay for overseas because right now that's really super expensive. But if you decide, you know, you want to pay for it, that's fine. You know, I just put it in my Etsy store, and you purchase whatever the price is for the shipping cost. And that's how I do it for that. But pretty much, you know, just subscribe and make a comment on a video, and every time you, I mean, you can enter as many times as you comment on a video, okay? So if you watch each of my videos and you make a comment, and let's say there's 10 videos before I hit, you know, 1,400, then you'll be entered 10 times. So, and like I said, you can watch old videos and make a comment, even if it's one you've watched before. That's fine. Anyway, I do want to go over this. I am going to link my old video when I made these so that you guys can see how I did it. It's basically the same thing, only we're going to kind of make this for Christmas, kind of a budget folio for Christmas, just to kind of keep track of receipts and maybe lists and things like that, okay? And that's what I'm going to make it like. But I do want to show you that this same thing could be used for something as a gift, you know, non-Christmassy if you wanted to, and just kind of show you what it is, okay? So easily can be adapted, you know, for Christmas, for whatever you want to do. Anyway, this opens up, okay, and when you open it up, you have, and these are purchased. I purchased these planners off of Amazon. This is a monthly planner, and it gives you room, you know, for all 12 months in there, and it's got writing space in there. So that's on this side, and that is just put in with the elastic, and you can, it's refillable, so you can take it out and then you know, put that back in if you want to. All right. And on this side is little envelopes, and it has all the months of the year in there with the envelopes, so that you could put your budget in there, maybe put lists in there, whatever you wanted to do for the whole year. And you could adapt this to like a bride planning for her wedding, or anything that you can think of, because I mean, this one has, you know, 12 envelopes in there, so I mean, obviously that's a good amount of envelopes, and it still closes up pretty good and very easy to kind of stick in your purse and use. And I put monthly on here, and I put budget, and you know, that's that. And then the other one that I made was, oh, I didn't have it closed all the way so you can see that. This one is a weekly, and it has the same thing. It has a big button right here, and then it has the elastic, and it says budget, and you open it up. Kind of the same thing. This one is a weekly budget, and you know, and you get these on Amazon or other places, and you can get them however you want. I mean, and then of course they come brown, and with just the you know, the cover like that. And then I just added some of the papers that I was using just to kind of decorate it a little bit. Same thing, it comes out, and you just put this in. Not a big deal. So it is refillable, and you can reuse it. And on this one, we just put the days of the week in here. So if you were doing like a, you know, daily cash type thing, then you could do something like that. And that's pretty much it, guys. That is what we're going to make. But this one is going to be a little bit different. I'm going to make this for my use, okay? And what I'm going to do is I am just going to put basically kind of a blank one in there that doesn't really have any specific days that, you know, anything on it, just for lists and things like that. So I'm going to use that, and this is one I just happen to have. I don't remember where I got it. I do think maybe I got it at Tuesday Morning. I can't really remember, but I like the color. I thought it would work good. Of course, if I don't, I can always cover it. All right. And then I need a couple of file folders to make this. One really for the base of it. The other one I'm going to use it for my tabs. I'm going to use my tab punch. If you don't have one of these, you can certainly just use a tab that you have, maybe from a kit or something, and then trace it out and cut it out. But I'm going to be using that. I'm going to be using some micropore, and I think I'm just going to use the 1 inch. This is 2 inch. Micropore is kind of a tape that you can get in the drugstore, and it is a paper tape, not the material tape. And I use that because I like to ink it up and make it kind of match the paper. I probably am going to use the 1 inch on this. I think I got that at the dollar store, so it's not expensive, and it's a good thing to use. I mean, you definitely could use washi tape too if you wanted to, but something to reinforce the seams on this thing, because I do this just because I want these to last, because I've made them reusable. On this one, I used ribbon, a cloth ribbon, and you could certainly do that on this, okay? Definitely would do that. I could certainly see that. But if you have like a cloth ribbon or something, that helps reinforce it too. But I'm probably going to use this, and I may also use ribbon. I haven't decided yet. Like I said, I've got my file folders. I've got some envelopes, and I use the 4 and 4.1.25 by 9.5, and that's 10.48 times 24.13 centimeters. And so that is, this is just a craft envelope that I have. And I buy these all the time when I go to Tuesday Morning if I see them, just because I use them a lot and stuff. Any type of legal size envelope would work. You could even use used envelopes, junk mail envelopes, and cover them if you wanted to. I like the look of these, or some of the other envelopes that I have, and I'm gonna, you know, I just like that they already have that craft paper look on them. The other thing is I find some papers. You can use a digital kit, whatever you want to do. I'm going to use this Old World Winter that I have. I just happen to have it, and I'm probably going to use some of the more vintagey looking papers on this. And that's what I'm going to use to cover the parts of my journal. I also am going to use this elastic, and this is, I got this off of Amazon. It's Doris, and it's 2 millimeter. I think that's really the thickness I like. I don't like it too thick, but this is usually what I like to use, and it works really well, and it's sturdy. You will need a couple of eyelets to use on this. You don't have to because you are reinforcing the seams, but it works better if you have them, so your paper doesn't tear. I will use my distress ink also, because I will distress a lot of it. My bone folder. I'm probably going to use 3-in-1 glue. You don't have to use it, but I usually use it when I'm doing a video just because it goes faster. I'm going to use my scoring board and my cutter. Okay, and that is pretty much it. That's going to be the basics. I will put some things on the outside, you know, decorate it. I may put some buttons and ribbons and some other things on that, but that's just up to you. I do like to do the cover this way with the big button just as a decoration. You don't have to do it that way. There's other ways to do it. But that's probably how I'm going to do it on this. And I'll just take, I think I have some gold buttons that's set up on here. And I used a button that was raised on the bottom that had the one little bump. And I sewed it on and then put it on there. And that's probably what I'm going to do again. So just look for a button that you could maybe do that with. You don't have to do it that way, but that's how I'm going to do it. The first thing that we're going to do is we're going to cut our file folder to the size that we need. And what I want to point out really quick is you can use either a letter size file folder or a legal size. The only difference is that if you use the legal size, you will have a larger place to put whatever you want. You know, if you're going to print something out on here, okay? That's the only difference. So you choose what you want to do, which one you like. I'm going to use the legal size because I want a larger space right here. So we're going to do that. And other than that, the sizing is basically the same. You just end up with more of a space right here. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I am going to get my cutter. Let me move this for a minute. And I am going to make my file folder 9 inches, okay? Because that's what I need it for the length. And I'm not going to cut off this portion. I'm going to cut off the bottom portion, okay? So I'm just going to put this in here. And here, I'll turn it over the other way so it's easier to measure. And I'm going to go right to 9 inches. Okay. And this probably won't cut it perfectly through. I'll probably have to do it several times. Okay, there we go. So that's it. It did cut it there. And of course, save the rest. I use those pieces for the tabs and things later, so you don't have to. That's why I said you can use up to 2 file folders, but this is 9 inches, okay? And now what you do is you're going to take this and you're going to score it in several places, okay? And this is how, let me move this out of the way. We need to score it. We're going to take this side where we have the tab. So you have a tab on the bottom here, and then you have this long tab on this side, and it's not going to make any difference if you use the other file folders or not, but you can kind of measure it out. Now, I know some are different, but for the most part, a lot of them are very similar. So your measurements are going to be similar. Anyway, you're going to go 4 1/4, and that's with this tab sitting all the way to the edge like that, okay? The big tab. So your first score line is going to be at 4 1/4. So that's right there. Okay. Then your next score line is going to be at 5 inches. So we're going to go right at 5 inches, and we're going to do that. Okay. Then your next one is going to be 9 1/2. And that ends up being right, make sure you can see that, where usually your fold line is, your natural fold line that you have for your file folder. That's what that should be, okay? So I'm just gonna basically go over that, even though it's already there. So that's your 9 1/2 right there, okay? Then your next one is 10 1/4. So we're gonna go 10 1/4 right there, okay? All right, looks like I need to trim that right there. No big deal. Okay, then that's what we just scored. You're going to take this and you're going to turn it over, okay, so that this side is on top. Remember, we started on this side. We're going to take this tab and we're going to put it in the corner, okay, and we're going to take that tab and we are going to go 2 3/4. So let's go 2 3/4. Okay, there we go. And then we're going to go 3 1/2. Okay, so that is basically our bones of what we're going to use. Let me put this back so it's out of the way. All right, so then I take my bone folder and I make sure this is how it's going to end up looking. This is actually going to be the part that holds the envelopes right here, okay? And then this is going to be the part that holds our actual ledger or booklet or whatever. And then this is actually the front that folds over, okay? So that's pretty much going to be it. That's the guts of it. And what I do is on these two corners, you could go through if you want to and take another envelope, okay? If you want it to look the same, these are your choices. And you can line this up, okay, with this on the edge, okay? You could line that up and cut out your tab here, okay? And all you do is you want to get the bottom lined up and the side lined up so it's equal there, which this is trying to move, so I'm going to move it back. So I don't know if you can see that, but we've got it all lined up. And then you just take your pencil and go around it. Okay, and then you could do that on the other side. You just got to get the corner, the square corner lined up with the bottom like that, okay? And you're going to do that. Get it all lined up. And then again, do the same thing. All right, so then at that point, you just take your scissors and basically cut it. All right. So then that way what happens is you get the same curve and corner that you do up there. Now, if you don't want to do that, like I did on my other ones, you can just take your corner punch and round it. I mean, those are your choices, okay? I rounded these right here. On some of them that I didn't do that. And I think it looks okay either way. I don't think it really matters that much in the end. But that's just an option for you if you want to do that. Okay, the next thing to do is what you're going to want to do is I reinforce all of my basically folds, because if you're going to be, you know, opening and closing this all the time, you want it to last. You don't want it to wear out. Even though you're using a file folder, this does give it a little extra strength. So what I would do, and this is the 1 inch, and let's see if that's going to go over it. You know, honestly, I think I might use the 2 inch. That's what I was I couldn't remember what I used on it before. So on this one, and your paper is going to cover this, so if it's a little wider than you need it, that's better. Okay, this one's tearing. Let me get it off of there. Hold on. Get that other paper off. And like I said, I think I just got this at like Walgreens or something. The other one I think I bought at, and it just says micropore surgical tape. Now there's a cloth tape that's called athletic tape, and that is what I use on reinforcing my bindings. But this is just a it's really a paper tape. It's strong, but it's really not as thick and strong as the athletic tape. Now I always take my glue stick, even though this stuff is reasonably sticky, and I guess it depends on which kind. It's not really meant to be a permanent tape, so when you do this, you know, you kind of have to reinforce it, so with some other glue. And I'm just going to take this and put it kind of right here. It doesn't have to be perfectly, like I said, it is going to be oh, I didn't mean to do that. Oh well, a little cutting thing, I kind of turned it over. I should not have done that, but I guess I can cut it. There we go, to get it toward me so I can cut it. Back through here so it'll go where it's supposed to. So anyway, you can trim that off a little bit more later, but anyway, you do that. And I don't do it on both sides, I just do it on one because I think that's enough. But if you wanted to do more, you could. And like I showed you on the other one, if you have some ribbon, you can put that on there, do whatever. Now I am actually going to put some lace or some ribbon on this on the outside. So I'm not going to do it I'm just going to do it one time. I'm not going to do it on the outside, but you could do both if you wanted to. Okay. Oops. I don't want to put that on there crooked. Let me get that on. Here we go. A little bit longer. I don't know why this thing's so hard to unroll right now. Oh, that's too long, but I'll have to cut it off. Anyway, and you know, once you use your glue stick or whatever, I wanted to make sure the seams were covered. I could have put that on a little bit straighter, but that's okay. You're just mainly wanting this portion of it to be reinforced. That's the goal. Like I said, you could do both sides, and I have before, but because I'm going to be covering this, I don't think I need it. And you could use the athletic tape too. You don't necessarily have to just use this. But I do that. And then, like I said, I'm going to put ribbon on the outside, so I think it'll be reinforced enough with that. If I wasn't going to put any kind of ribbon or anything back here, I would probably do both sides. Okay. I mean, this is made to be a refillable, reusable item. And so if you do this, it's kind of made to last. And this will reinforce it, and that helps. So, okay, make sure I get that on there. It kind of buckled up a little bit. I'm having the hardest time with this little cutter thing. It's not doing... There we go. Got that. All right. All right. Like I said, doesn't have to be perfect because you're going to be covering that up. But you can see how the micropore tape just kind of blends. Well, what I do at this point is I pretty much ink everything up. I ink everything that's going to show, which is not the whole thing, but basically it's all of the outside pieces right here and all of the inside. And I do that, and then after I do that, I will go ahead and start the next process. So basically I just take my ink, and I'm going to be using Distress ink. So let's see, which one am I using? I forgot. Maybe this one. I cannot remember. I think it's this one. Anyway, so I will just take that and start inking it all around the sides. And I'm doing it fairly dark just because I want it to be, you know, more vintagey, I guess. So I will do that all over. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and do that just like I showed you, and then I'll be right back. Okay, so I'll just stop the camera so y'all don't have to watch me ink, and then we'll okay, so now that I have it all inked up, we're going to go to the next step. And the next step is just really getting our papers cut out to put on this, okay? So, these are the different sizes that you will need if you're doing it the same way that I'm doing it. You are going to need 4 pieces that are 4 1/4 by 9. And that's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. And those are the first ones I usually do. And I've just picked out some papers that would go together. And I'm thinking, okay, so this is going to be the outside. And let me think what I want to put. And I just picked several papers out I thought would go good together. You can do them all the same if you want to. I mean, I don't think there's any rule that says you can't. I think I'm going to use these two. I think for the outside there. And then I'll probably use this one, and let's see, maybe, I don't know, maybe I'll use this one and that one on the inside. Okay, so I'm going to cut these down, and that is going to be 4 of them at 4 1/4. Let me make sure that's right. I'm pretty sure it is. Okay, 4 1/4 by 9. That's right. So we're going to do that. Make sure I do it the right way. Obviously, you want the 9 inches to be going this way because obviously that's the length here. Now the cool thing is, I mean, you have all these extra pieces. Save them all. I might put some of these on the outside. I don't know yet. Let me see. So we're going to go 4 1/4. I'm telling you, I hate this cutter. I gotta still get. I keep meaning to go get another one, and I never get out to go do it. So that's 1. I might put this on the front too. I don't know yet. Let me see. So that'll just go right there. I don't know why. I think my quarter mark was messed up on that. Yeah, I told you this thing does not, it's not very easy to see. Let me see if I did that over 9 inches. Maybe it's a little tiny bit, maybe a little tiny bit under 9. Let's say 1/8 of an inch probably. So not quite 9. So I'll cut that. Do that on here too. Get them all the same size. Okay, so that works. Like I said, make sure you hang on to your other pieces because you will use those later on the envelopes. Okay. So maybe I will use some. I'll have that. Let's see, what other one? I'm going to do this one. So we're going to go 9, has to go this way. It's going to go a tiny bit under 9. Just so it fits inside. And then, you know, you can have as much of the other, your folder as you want showing. I mean, it's up to you, but I don't actually have that much. That's what I was telling you on your micropore. It's not going to really show very much, so. And as I said, you can use ribbon or something else if that's what you want to do. Okay, so I may just put these on the inside and the outside, and then use the other pieces for the other sides. So save all these because you will need them. All right, so then I'm going to probably put one of these here. And then one of them over here. And I'm going to kind of do the same thing on the inside. And I'm probably going to go ahead and ink this up a little bit. Just so that it kind of matches. Now, on this, if you want to, you can round them or do whatever you want. I leave them square because the area that I'm putting it on is square. So I don't really, you know, worry about doing that. Now on the other end, you'll see that I changed that, okay? All right, so let's see. We're going to do that and that. Let me ink this up. And the cool thing about it is this is a nice, easy project. And if you wanted to make several of these for gifts, you don't have to do them for Christmas. I'm just doing it that way because that's kind of my little theme for November. And then, all right, so now I'm going to use my glue stick on this because I trust my glue stick. Oh, that one's almost empty. We need another glue stick. Okay, here we go. We use this one. And I'm just going to put my glue on here. And do that. And I always just kind of split the difference. Okay, I should have inked down there. I forgot that I needed to do that because I'm not doing this whole thing. So I'm going to take my ink and go all the way down because I am going to have some of this showing. A lot of it in the end won't show that much because what's going to happen is I'm going to have ribbon over this, but just in case, I'd rather have some ink on there. All right, where did this one go? Okay, so that is going to go upside down. My glue's starting to dry. I need to put more on there. Okay, so that is just going to kind of go. You don't want to cover your seams because if you do, then what will happen is you won't be able to bend your folder, okay? All right, and then so we're going to do this one. I need to ink it up more. Okay, just do that. All right, let's do that. And I've already inked this one, so I'm going to put it right there. Now on this one, I am going to use 7 folders, just because that's what I used on my weekly budget folder. So if you wanted to do it as a weekly budget, you could. But I'm going to make it for a shopping list and groceries and things like that. You just can put whatever title on it you want to. Okay. And I'm actually going to do it for different people in my family for the different lists that we have for that. Okay, that's it. Now I'm going to do the other side. I think I need to put more glue on it. I'll do it later. Again, I need to ink this. I completely forgot because on my other one, I covered the whole thing. So now you will find out when you're doing this, your micropore does not take the ink the same. So you may have to work on it a little harder and it won't look the same, but when you're done in the end, like I said, you're not really going to notice it that much. So put more of it on there, right there. Okay, so now put the top on that. I've got 2 here. I'm kind of doing the opposite. I'm going to put that on this side and this on that side. Although, you know what? Let me think. When I do this, okay, so we'll do that. And I did ink those, okay. And I use my glue stick because I have a lot of confidence in that glue stick. If you don't, you can use whatever glue you want. And you can see where the seams are in here, and you want to make sure you get them in between and not on them, because again, you won't be able to fold it if you do that. Okay, need more glue right there, it looks like. Okay. And if you do need to go back with another glue, that's fine. That's how I do it. I use my glue stick, and if anything still needs to be glued down, then that's what I do. I just go back in with my art glitter glue or whatever. Put that there. Make sure I can see the 2 seams because I don't want to cover them. Okay. So now that covered your inside and your outside main pieces. There we go. All right, so that did that. And now what we're going to do is we're going to cover, let me get my wet wipe out here that I had so that I can wipe my hands off a little bit. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and do my other pieces. So you need to cut, where did my little folder go? Okay, I lost it. Probably fell. Here it is. Okay, so we need to cut, that's not sticking real good. Let me get my other glue out. I think it's not hanging onto the micropore real well on the inside edges. And that's what I say. I'll put it down with my glue stick, and if the ends aren't in there good or something, then I'll just go back in and do that. I'll redo that later. Okay, so what you need on these sides here is you are going to need, let's see, this side right here is going to be 3 3/4 by 9, and you're going to need 2 of those. So let's see what we want to do. Now the thing you have to realize, that is basically the cover. That is going to be whatever you decide you want your cover to be, and I think I want my cover to be that, and then the inside to be that. And then this will be, see, this is going to be here, and then this part's going to overlap it. So let's see, maybe I'll do that there. I don't know, I haven't decided on this part yet. So I'm going to do this. Okay, so this is going to be the inside. Do I want to do 2 the same? Probably not. Okay, so I'm going to do 3 3/4 with this one. Or what I may do, let me think. I'm trying to think, because I'm trying to remember how this is going to look. This is going to be overlapped. Yeah, I think that'll be good. Okay, so this is going to be the 3 3/4 by 9. So we're going to first cut the 9. It's going to go just a tiny bit under, 1/8 of an inch under. So basically, just right before you hit the 9. Okay, and then I'm going to do 3 3/4. So I'm going to do that. And that should go right there. Okay. And I don't know if I want to do that on the inside. I think I'll do this one that way. This is going to be 9. No, actually, I think I'm going to do it with this. I'm going to do it with this one. I think I like that better. So I'm going to do this as my 9. And then I'll do my 3 3/4. Okay, so these are going to be my 2 pieces that basically go right here, okay? And on these, you're going to have a little bit more work, okay? Because we are going to basically round these so that they fit inside here. Now, you basically on the bottom can fit that to the bottom, and you could go back in and cut that around there, okay? And all you do, let's go ahead and ink this for the most part, and then that way we only have a little bit to ink on the end. Okay, I have to decide if I want that there or I want that there. I'm going to want, okay, so this is going to go like that, and then that is going to be the inside of this. So maybe I want that one there. I think maybe I want that one there, and then this goes here. And what is that going to be? That is going to be the inside of that. I just can't decide. Okay, I think what I'm going to do, you're not really going to be able to see that. Maybe I'll put that over here. So that will go like that, and that, no, it's too busy. Huh, okay, so that's going to be the inside. Put that on the outside. All right, I'll go ahead and do what I was going to originally do, is I'm going to put this on the inside. And the way that I'm going to do this is I'm just going to put this right to the edge right here, but not on the fold. Okay, right to the bottom, right to the top. And then I'm going to just basically cut around this edge right here. Okay, this is going to be right before it. So we will do that. And like I said, I would probably, if I'm, doing this on my own, I would take my time, maybe put different glue or more glue or something. So I'm going to take it right to the edge, but not on the edge, and right to the bottom. Okay, so that'll line up with the top. Let me get that up there nice and lined up. Make sure it's not overlapping. And you're going to have this little part sticking out right here. All right, and you want that if you're going to put a title in there or something. It's just your tab. Now you have this part right here, and you can take that and just go with your scissors and go around it. And what that does is you're just going to basically follow this as your pattern and go around, and there you go. So that creates that bottom part. This part should be square up to that point. Okay, now on this side I'm going to do basically the same thing. Have I inked that? Doesn't look like I've inked it. Okay. All right, so we're going to glue that down. I think I'm going to put the glue on here. And you're basically going to do the same thing with your corner. Okay, so that is going to go, don't go over the seam. You're going to line up the bottom. Not going over the seam, because you want to be able to fold it. Get it lined up with the top, just like you did on the other one. Okay, for some reason, this one's a tiny bit shorter, but that's okay. Just split the difference. You will never know. And I'll put most of it on top. That way we can get it straight. Make sure it's not overlapping. Okay, so now we have that on there. And we're going to do the same thing with this as we did with the other one. And go around it. So both of our ends are the same. Okay, so that's that part. Now we just have this one. And on that one, we're just going to go, let's see, that is going to be 2 1/8 for that. And 2 1/8 by 9. Okay, so let's just do that. Make sure we didn't do any upside down. Okay, so I decided I'm going to use this, I think, because this is going to go like that. That's going to go like that. And I need something that can kind of blend in with that. So I think I'm going to use this. So that is 2 1/8. Or I could use this. I don't know. Let me see. I don't know. I think I'm going to use the holly there. And then I'll use that on that side. I think that'll be good. Okay. So we're going to go 2 1/8 by 9 again. I don't know on this one, probably this is the length. So I would think you would want it this way. Yeah, I think you would want it that way. Okay. All right. So you're going to go. Now, I could certainly have used some of my other pieces, but I know that I'm going to wind up, let's see, is that 2 1/8? Is that what was the measurement? Yeah. I know that I am going to end up having to use some of these for the other pieces. So, okay, this is over 9. This one's 9. So I can do 2 1/8 here. Because we will use these on the envelopes on the inside. Okay, so we're going to do that. We've got our 2 pieces. And we're going to take this, and these are going to go right here. And I think that one's going there. Or do I want that? I got to make up my mind. I could have picked all this out before. I don't know. I think I like that. I think I'm going to do that. I know y'all probably screaming at me what you want me to do, but all right. So I'm going to do that. Glue stick. Where did it go? I lost my glue stick. Here it is. Okay. So we're going to do basically the same thing that we did on the other one. Do all that. And we're going to put our glue. And that will go right down there. Make sure you do not go on your seam. Okay, that's on there kind of crooked, so I gotta get it on there straight. Okay, there we go. Move this over just a tiny bit. And I think we need to move it up a tiny bit. There we go. Okay. So again, I'm just going to take this, oops, and cut around the edge. Okay, and then I'm going to do the other side. Ink it up. A little bit too much ink on that. That's okay. And then I'm going to do this. Again. Make sure you can find your seam. All right. And then that is going to go right down here. It's kind of crooked. I got to get it on there straight and then get it even to the bottom. Again, you're going to have your, oh, it needs to move over just a tiny bit so it's not on the fold. You don't want it on the fold because it'll mess up there. Okay, that's good. And then you're just going to do the same thing again, is cut your edge. All right, that's it. Okay, so that is pretty much all we're going to do for today. We've got basically our shell done and our papers on it. So this is going to end up going like this, guys. That will be the outside portion of it, okay? And then this will be the inside. It'll be like that, okay? Save all your little scrap papers because we'll use all those. And then decide how many envelopes you want to put in there. What I'm doing on mine is I am basically going to have an envelope for each of my family members that I buy gifts. Not all, not all of them, just like my kids and my husband. And then I have I'm going to have another one for other relatives that I buy gifts for, which I don't buy a lot for all my other gifts. And then I'm going to buy, have another one for just miscellaneous, friend gifts or whatever. And then I'm going to have one for groceries and things like that. So basically for me, I'm going to have my 4, and then 3 other categories, okay? You just decide however many you want. Like I said, I put up to 12 in the one budget one that I did, and you know what? It held up fine. So that's what I'm going to be using. So you decide how many you want, and you know, use your scraps and your coordinating paper, and we're going to use that for the inside of this, okay? And like I said, you'll need an eyelet in your elastic, maybe a button if you want to do it the way that I'm doing it. Any other decorations you want to put on the outside, any lace or trims or whatever. I am going to be using some little letter stamps that I have to kind of mark these and do my tabs and my tab punch. You don't have to do that for sure. I mean, you could write it on there, and I don't know. I'll have to see if my letters are going to fit the way I want them to. If they don't, then I may just write it on there with a gold pen or something. But anyway, that's kind of going to be how I do this. So you decide how you want to do it, and that we'll go ahead and do part 2 on Thursday. And those are the kind of items you will need. So you decide what you want to do. That's all I can say. And I am probably going to maybe use some different envelopes. I'm not sure, because we'll see. I'm not positive, but I am going to maybe use some other ones on this. I'm not sure. We'll see. But if you want to do this, just get you some envelopes. Make sure you cut it to the size that you'll need it, and go ahead and we'll do part 2 on Thursday.